All right, welcome to another short card review, video. Today we're talking about the GOAT, but we're gonna be talking about her in her aggression um, ally version, and also Hercules. Now, these I kind of have mixed feelings about both these cards, and we'll get into that in a second. But do me a huge favor first. If you have not yet, hit the like button, hit subscribe. It helps with the channel. We recently hit 5,000 subscribers on our road to 10K. Really excited about the growth of this channel and all that fun stuff. So make sure you do that if you have not done it yet. All right, let's drop down and check out these cards. All right, the first one we'll do is the GOAT, Valkyrie. She's a 3/1/2/3 stat line. After Valkyrie enters play, deal 2 damage to a minion, 3 damage instead if you pay for this card using energy resource. I like this card, but I don't love it. Obviously, it's really useful with quote-unquote weaker minions, right? If you were able to drop her in and there's a 2 or 3 life minion and you can knock them out and then she can kind of go do her thing after that, really good, really useful. The stat line's not bad with 2 attack, so that's not bad at all. I feel like it'd be nice if she did more with minions, right? We'll see that in a card later on at some point, where they kind of interact with minions more. So I wish it kind of did that, or I wish there was something else to it. But when they just like enter play and they do a thing, it's just not as exciting, I guess. I don't know. It's less interesting to me. So again, it's not a bad card. I include it now and again. If you're doing a scenario that's pretty minion heavy, especially minions with less life, I think it makes a lot of sense. Even I should take that back slightly. Even if they have 5 life, right, and you could do the 3 damage after entering play and swing for 2, and so Valkyrie takes out that tougher minion, that could even be worth it too. So I don't want to make it seem like, oh, it has to be a cheap minion. It doesn't have to be. It helps, right, because then you could do 2 damage on something else if the minions are stacking that way. But if it's just one like medium size or a minion you're going against, then that's not so bad, right? That's not so bad. Being able to do the 5, getting another swing in there eventually, and then finally using it as a chump blocker or whatever else. So definitely strong, definitely useful. Again, more of a for a minion type heavy deck. And I think I forgot to mention that she is a part of the Thor hero pack. I don't think we mentioned that yet, that we're covering the Thor hero pack now. Also in the Thor hero pack is Hercules. Now, Hercules is like a weird one. So he's 6/1/3/4 stat line, which is a terrible stat line, right? God awful stat line. No one should ever spend this much. Cards should never cost 6, ever. Looking at you, pool aspect. But anyway, reduce the cost to play Hercules by 1 for each minion engaged with you. And this can get pretty interesting, right? Because there are builds out there, especially nowadays, they kind of have like the minion swarm builds. Like, well, I don't even know what they call it now. I call it minion swarm, but that might not be the right terminology. But basically, you line up the deck so that you can have a ton of minions out there, right, with aggression, get a lot of card draw, and then play cards like Hercules that would be really cheap. And if you had 6 minions against you, you could play him for free, which is actually kind of really cool. Even if you only had 3, it's still like a crazy buy-in for him, right? If he costs 3. A 1/3/4 stat line is really good, right? Because essentially you'd be able to swing 3 times and then chump block. So that'd be 3 for 9 damage. Like, we look for 3 for 8. So that's a really, really good value right there if you just had 3 minions you were going against. So it's kind of a weird balancing act. I feel like a lot of people early on were kind of like off put by Hercules because like, well, I don't want to have that many minions out there, so I'd only really have like 1, maybe 2 minions at most. And then like a 4 cost for Hercules isn't bad, right? It's not terrible, but obviously you want to get it down to like 3 or fewer would be more ideal. Now, again, I know people are going to say, well, 4, I do it all the time. That's totally cool. It can work absolutely well like that. I'm just saying, obviously, less is better, right? So Hercules is an interesting one. I don't do a ton of builds focusing on just minions, so he doesn't get played a lot personally for me, right? And I get the appeal of him. I get the appeal of building a deck that focuses on just drawing out minions, getting them out on their table so you can reduce threat, and then you can overkill them and either heal yourself or remove more threat, and then also deal damage onto a villain that maybe has retaliate and whatever, right? Like, I get the appeal of all of that, and then playing cards like this for cheap, I just never play that way. So this card doesn't get played as much, and so again, that's not a knock on the card. That's just more of like how I play. So that leads us back to our original, or the overarching question that we ask with all this is, do you play Hercules? Do you play Valkyrie as far as aggression allies go? Hercules for me, I rarely play. I'll mess around with the minion decks, like the minion slaying decks and the minion draw decks. I'll mess around with them a little bit, and like he'll be added probably, but I don't play them a ton. And then Valkyrie, because it doesn't have to do with minion draws. Like if it's just like the occasional minion out there, like I'll put her in. Like I'll put her in. It's not all the time, but it does have to be kind of a minion heavy deck for me to do that. I just want to say thank you once again for the support. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for everyone that's hit the subscribe button. It means a lot. And then really quick before you go over to twitch.tv/D20 Woodworking, hit the follow button, turn on notifications so you know when I go live. We've been doing a lot of fun stuff there. Sunday nights is Marvel Champions night. We're playing it solo. Tuesday night is kind of just a random game, whatever I decide playing, either Ashes Reborn or Final Girl or something else. Doesn't really matter. And then Friday nights, we've been doing PvP against novels. Recently been playing Lorcana, Marvel Champ. Well, I guess not all PvP, but 2-player games of Lorcana, Marvel Champions, One Piece, different card games specifically been playing. It's been a lot of fun. It's been really cool, and we hope to see you over there. And hopefully you enjoyed this video.